Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason. As always, my co-host, my right-hand man, Mr. Zack Partridge, the voice of MMA in Utah.
That's right.
You like that?
I am. So self-proclaimed.
I like the confidence.
Self-proclaimed.
All right.
Somebody's going to beat me up.
We got another fighter spotlight up. We are welcoming Christopher Marcus to the podcast. Christopher, I tried to do some research on you. We talked a little bit. Now we figured it out. But so tell us a little bit about you. You got a fight coming up June 12th, right?
Yeah. I got a fight coming up June 12th in Montana for Fusion Fight League. It's part of their Rising Stars tournament.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm 5-3 right now. Hopefully I'll be finishing up this tournament within this next 6 months to a year. And after that, I'll be a 3-division champion.
Okay.
Where are your other titles at?
My featherweight title is out of 559 Fights in California. And then my bantamweight title is out of 209 Stockton. I think it's called 209 Beatdown.
Okay. Very cool. So you were scheduled to fight on Tough Enough. But that never happened. It was canceled to COVID, right?
Yeah. It was literally the day before. It was so funny because I was talking with Jeff and I was like, hey man, I was like, this thing's getting bad fast. And the professional sports had just shut down. And I was like, no way they're going to let you have this show. And he was like, yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. We cut weight. We weighed in. We stood off. We took pictures. I went home. I fueled back up. And as I was fueling up, I got the call.
Oh,
been there. I was cutting weight in November, and they're like, "Nope, we're good to go in Salt Lake City here in Salt Lake." And I was cutting weight. I was 2.5 pounds away, 24 hours from weigh-ins, 48 hours from fighting, and then we got the call that said, "Nope."
Yeah,
did it?
Yeah,
COVID does us fighters.
It's been rough for me, but it felt pretty normal. Because the last, I'd say, 5 scheduled fights I've had with Tough haven't worked out.
No kidding.
One out of 6 fights. Yeah, nobody wanted to fight me when I got out here, and I went through. They would set up a fight. We'd get close to the fight. The guy would drop out. They would push the camp back. They'd push another fight back, and it was this continuous thing. Finally, I cut weight. We weighed in, and then the dude pulled out due to a broken hand or something like that. And then they were like, you want to fight next month? And I was like, I can't keep doing this to my body. I've cut weight almost 5 times now for no fight. Yeah. And they were like, well, we'll give you the title shot at 135. And that was against Jalen Bates. And then I took that. We fought. I ended up losing second rounds. But that was my first fight back out of almost a year and a half. And here we are a year and a half since that fight, which was actually my very first TKO loss ever. And we're a year and a half, maybe 2 years since that. And here I am fighting for the first time again.
Oh, that's brutal. How did you get lined up with the Fusion Fight League? I've heard they made a lot of noise, and it sounds like they have a pretty exciting, a lot of really exciting fights going on up there.
Yeah, Roman called me up, and he said that they were putting together this tournament, and they were looking for some of the best 125 guys. And I said, I'm happy to be there. I've been out for so long, even before the Jalen Bates fights, and I just feel like, honestly, I've been in camp, all through that before Jalen Bates, and then now I've been through, at least 2 or 3 camps since the pandemic. So I just feel so ready, and I'm ready to just kill this tournament.
You know who you're fighting?
No.
Don't care?
I mean, I do it to my phone, but I'm using it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm fighting 3. I'm beating 3 guys.
There you go.
All right.
Do they have it scheduled out? Like, you win this fight, when you're going to fight again?
So what I was told is it depends on how the fights go. So if I win my fight and the guy who I'm going to be fighting, they have the tournament bracket set already. So they said that if we both win our fights and don't take too much damage, we can opt to fight the next month and just knock it out of the way. So far and so forth. If we get injured, we can kind of push our fight back a little bit, depending on how the fights go.
Gotcha. Sweet, man. What do you think? What's your game like? For people who don't know, are you more of a stand-up guy, ground guy? all around? How do your
I
fights
mean,
usually go?
I'm a big ground guy. I love wrestling. That's kind of like one of my fallbacks. I wrestled in middle school, and then I kind of just stuck with it ever since then. Even when I wasn't practicing with the team, I was always, out with the boys. I grew up in a very small country town. We were always wrestling each other. Big guys. I've always been a small guy, so I've always been wrestling with bigger guys. So when I get these guys that are my size, I mean, even when I was competing at 135, sometimes at 145, I was still strong compared to those guys. So, coming into the 125 class, I'm ready to kind of use my wrestling, use my strength. But I love standing and banging. I did a lot of Muay Thai. I've worked on a lot of my stand up and I love using it. I usually go to the ground more when, I feel like I'm not landing on the hands or I can't get my rhythm or distance right. Then I can, take them down, wear them out a little bit. We'll stand back up and then their distance and their timing isn't as good,
Okay.
I like it.
You're training out of Extreme Couture, right?
Yeah. I've been there for a little over 3 years now.
Oh, okay. Oh, you've been there for a minute then.
Yeah, I was training out of there when I left California. I was training at the Pit in California, John Hackelman's gym, and that's where I won actually both my championships. And then I was like, I think that I might have a career in this, and I left there. I moved out here to Vegas, and I started training with them. And then I went to the lab in Arizona, did a camp out of there, and then I've been here ever since.
What is there something that caused the move to Vegas? Did you just feel like you needed more and more bodies, or what was the cause for the move if you thought you wanted to make a career out of it? Because John Hackelman's a very highly regarded coach.
Yeah. So I was actually training out of so he's got 3 gyms off the Central Coast, and I was training at the North gym. So I wasn't really training under him as much as I was like under his black belts, which was cool. And which, I mean, I have no complaints about. I was a street fighter that knew nothing when I walked in there, and they really built a great foundation. I just felt like if I came out here, I would be able to see a different level of competition. At both of the gyms I was at there, I didn't have any competition. Not only did I not have anybody to work with in my weight class, but I also didn't have anybody that was really, like competing at a high level. So I didn't know what that was like. Coming out here was definitely a culture shock. I'm running with number 2, 3 in the UFC. And there's just sharks out there, people I didn't even know, people I've never met, Croatian world champions, and we're just, we're sparring. And once I joined the pro team, I really got to see what the level of competition from the highest high down to the mid and low level pros. And then once I saw that, once I was able to move around with those guys, I was like, okay, this is where I belong. And I've been here ever since.
Do you feel like that this Fusion Fight League tournament, this is it, and then go pro? Is that the move, or is it kind of wait and see how this turns out?
I mean, yeah, I was, it's funny because I had a couple pro offers back almost 3 years ago. And I was looking into it, and I really, I had figured kind of that was the timing. I had just won my second AMI title, and I was like, okay, I was scheduled to fight for one more title, and I ended up breaking my ankle in that fight. But that was the fight that I was supposed to go pro after. Here we are 4 years later, and I still haven't gone pro. I'd say yes to that question, but I mean, that does have some parameters around it on, how well I do. I mean, that's the thing I love about this tournament is that I get 3 fights to really show what I've been working on for the past 4 years. That I haven't been able to show anybody. The one fight I did get into with Jalen Bates, I felt incredible the entire fight. I was leading the entire fight. I almost knocked him out probably 4 times. I sat him down for, I think 3 or 4 times. And I was just smoking him. He's 5-0 and he's in Bellator now. So he caught me with a lucky hook that sat me down and the ref called it. But I mean, I think I'm just on a different level. And if what I think is true, once I get in there during this Fusion Fight League, they'll be able to see that every single fight, every single round. And then, hopefully after that, I'll be a 3-division champion. I mean, I'm not super looking to sign with any low level pro agencies. You know, I've put in a ton of time. I've put in a lot of work. As far as money goes, I'm not hurting for money. I own a bunch of businesses, so like I'm willing to kind of sit back, wait, and pick and choose what's going to be best for me.
It's nice to have options.
I was just looking over your Twitter account. Looks like you have a pretty interesting side gig going on there.
So you saw my Twitter?
I looked up Freak Hustler on Twitter.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You should check out my Instagram. My Twitter's kind of lacking. I never post on Twitter.
What's your
check out Freak Hustler Instagram.
Oh, I'm on it, man. I'm on it.
You're on it. Nice.
So what's the other side hustles you got going on, if you don't mind?
So I have a production company. I work with a lot of models in the adult industry out here in Las Vegas. That was kind of like a passion project that was just for fun, and it exploded faster than I could keep up with it. Then all of a sudden I'm hiring employees, and it's turning into something awesome.
You need an extra camera guy, or my wife's hey, if you see a shoe flying through here, it's my wife. Though, just sorry.
That's hilarious. Yes, I do that. I do a lot of real estate stuff. So I own a vacation rental management company. I do some project management. I'm kind of a jack of all trades.
Right on.
I'm a high level CEO, so I've been doing that for quite some time. Kind of picking and choosing what I want to do and where I want to go.
I like it, man. I like it.
I dig it.
A lot of work.
Roman's watching. He says you're a busy bee.
Hey, yeah, too busy sometimes.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, right.
So, Christopher, do you have any sponsors you want to give a shout out to before we let you get out of here?
I do want to thank all my sponsors. I would, also like to thank my coach Roman, and his management team is probably, the best thing that has happened to my fight career. Thank you so much, Roman. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all your time.
Right on, man.
Right on, Christopher. Well, we appreciate you joining us, man, and good luck in your fight in a couple weeks. Hopefully
we'll be watching.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to watch it and
awesome.
see you do some damage.
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
Right on, man.
A lot
of violence. Right on, man. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, Christopher. We out. And